Morning, everybody. How is it going? Another beautiful day, Wednesday, May 4th. Uh, Switching over to some Hand of Fate 2 today. Try out another card game. We are not finished with Loop Hero. We'll get back to it at some point. Just trying to get a taste of some different games right now, some different content, and not stick with anything too long. But it's nice to have some of those games, that we can pull out, play very easily, just start up whenever we need some of that content filler for times where we're not sure what we're gonna play. So Java, good to see everybody. Hope your day is going well. Go ahead and do what we do, which is dive into gaming industry news before we start up our own gaming session. Yeah, so let's hop in. Let's see what we got. Get my camera out of the way. Perfect. Cool. All right. Let's see here. We already talked about Square Enix selling off all of their Western game studios. I think the majority were in Canada, if not like half of them, right? But basically, they no longer have the IPs for Thief, Tomb Raider, and Deus Ex, right? So those are going to be IPs that hopefully we will see be brought back to life. They've already kind of announced. Who was it that bought them? Why can't I think of their name right now? Embracer. Um, they've already kind of announced that they're working on new Deus Ex, and I think Tomb Raider as well. So we'll just have to keep our eyes and ears open to see what comes about with those titles. Star Wars. Today is May the 4th be with you, right? The 4th, because it's May 4th, right? Um, I prefer the dark side. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? May the 4th be with you. There's a bunch of Star Wars sales. So we'll see what this one is, the Heritage Pack. But just Star Wars game sales all over the place right now. Even Game Pass knows it's backlog season. I love Final Fantasy X. If they're taking Final Fantasy X to Game Pass, that's awesome. Is that for reals? And Xbox Game Pass games for May include 4 day one release. We already kind of hit on that, I think. I didn't think it was 4 when we looked at it before, though. Let's take a look and see and make sure we know what games they're talking about here. See if we've already kind of touched on all of those or not. We looked at the XR glasses. Very cool concept. Yo, Bob, what's up? How are you, Bob? Um, so these glasses are pretty wild. Apart from like being strapped up with legitimate VR and everything, it's basically just having like monitor right in front of your eyes, yeah. And you can even like take the monitor and move it to the side so you can still like do things while you like pay attention to a screen and stuff. They're pretty neat. We read up on these yesterday, I think it was, in that news segment. If you want a deeper dive, go check out that the news segment from yesterday on YouTube. Um, they're still in a Kickstarter right now. If you jump into the Kickstarter, then you can get a pair for like what? I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for asking. I'm doing great. It's good to see you, Bob. Uh, I'm glad you're doing well too, man. I'm glad you're doing well too. Um, I think if you hop into the Kickstarter, you can get a pair of these for just under 400 when they release. If you're not part of the Kickstarter, then you're going to be looking at like 500, 550 US for a pair of these glasses. seems like a cool concept. We'll have to see. The only videos out on them right now are like marketing kind of videos, and you know they're gonna play those to their advantage. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what the actual release date is for these yet, but could be cool. Could be cool. The thing is, I hate to say this, for as much as you're going to spend on these, you could get a pretty decent VR set. You know, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, and it just depends on which one fills your needs more, which one you want more. You know, these are obviously more portable, and you know, just depends on what you want. Maybe you could go for both. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we've already talked about Star Wars sales coming today, starting today in the previous segments. Gamer, what's up, buddy? How are you? Steam Deck, they continue. Valve continues to make games on Steam fully verified for Steam Deck, meaning games are actually optimized. Whereas there's the same amount of games, like there's over 1,000 games now, I think, that are verified, and there's over 1,000 games as well that are playable on the Steam Deck. They just haven't necessarily been optimized for the device yet, right? So they're going to be a little bit of quirky stuff with those, maybe, you know, but they're doing a good job. I remember when the Steam Deck released, we're talking, I think around 100 verified, and at this point, you know, we're up to over 1,000, which is good. They're continuing to work on it, which is awesome. From everything that I can tell, I haven't got my hands on one. Living the dream, baby. Let's go, gamer. Let's go, dude. Uh, Everything that I can tell, I haven't had my hands on one, but the Steam Deck seems like a pretty good platform, pretty good piece of hardware. So if you don't necessarily need, I think the big difference is this is awesome if all you need to do is game. All you need to do is PC gaming. This is awesome. If you need something that's more has more utility to it, I think this can do a little bit more, but not on the same level as like a laptop would be able to do, right? So if you need something with a bit more utility, maybe look at a mid-range gaming laptop, you know, to fill that need for you. It just depends on what you're looking for. Yeah. Sims 4 drops teaser for even more kits and a game pack. We'll take a look real quick for any Sims fans out there. I know we have at least a number of people in the community that get down on some Sims stuff occasionally. So we'll take a look. Square Enix lost 200 million on Marvel games. Avengers will continue. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, the Marvel game was a flop. Yeah, Marvel game was a flop. If I remember correctly, just very repetitive gameplay and microtransactions. So everybody was just kind of like, nope. AMD promises extreme gaming laptops in 2023 with, I'm guessing, their new processors. Look, Asus just released, what is it? The 5800, is it 3D? I can't remember the name of that chip right now, but it has like triple the level 3 cache that most other processors have right now. And it's at a price point of somewhere around $400 to $450. This CPU that AMD came out with, I think it's an 8-core 16-thread. It is literally outperforming in gaming. I don't know about other applications, but in gaming, it's outperforming Intel's like top of the line new processors, 12-core, 24-thread guys, which cost over twice, almost like 3 times what the AMD processor costs. That's what we've seen so far. That's what we've seen so far. But let's jump in here and see what this is about. New gaming center in Niagara Falls offers kids a safe, I think, a safe spot. Let's take a look at that. That's pretty cool stuff, man. I like seeing things like that. Gaming can be a beautiful thing, man. It can be a beautiful thing. As we do in life, we tend to focus on the negative. Developers doing bad things in games and stuff like that, and toxic environments and things like that when it comes to gaming. But there are some people and companies and organizations that do some amazing things with gaming. It can be very beneficial in a lot of different ways. So let's take a look at what they're doing for the kids there. That's awesome. Dr. Disrespect claims YouTube gaming doesn't support us one bit. All right, let's dive in there. I've heard a lot of stuff here recently, about content creators and streamers in particular that have there's a lot of talk about the difference between a platform like Twitch and a platform like YouTube to game on or to stream on. And there have been some very popular streamers that have signed very lucrative contracts to go over and be on YouTube instead of being on Twitch. But a lot of what I hear is like, and money talks, man. Money talks. But it's just not the same kind of platform that Twitch is, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people, a lot of streamers feel the same way. Um, as far as being a live broadcaster, it's just not really comparable. Um, Obviously, there are a lot of people that have gotten banned on Twitch or have been offered these very lucrative contracts, decided to switch over. But I'm not surprised to see somebody that is in that situation come out and kind of dump on maybe YouTube. We'll see what the article says, but to dump on YouTube a little bit when they spent so many years being Dr. Disrespect on Twitch, being accustomed with this platform and basically having to switch over because there's not another one right now. Right? I mean, we all remember whenever Mixer came about and it died. They uh they got some very high name people to switch over to Mixer, paid them a lot of money, and the site just died. It did not work out. But we'll see what Dr. Disrespect has to say here. Um, and on that note, I've only been streaming for a year. A year this month on the 24th. 20 days. 20 days we'll hit our 1 year. I enjoy this platform. I do. And I think it's set up very well for us as streamers. It's a very populated market. It, is what a lot of people I think find tough about it. But um, I think you just have to understand that that's kind of the world you're getting yourself into whenever you start streaming. Nonetheless, this platform, Twitch, I find to be very nice. I enjoy it. And I don't know that I would be very enthusiastic or thrilled to switch over to another platform to live stream off of at this point. At this point. We've already looked at the Prime free games. Look at the previous news segments if you're interested in finding out what those are, or pull up a tab yourself. Real easy. blockchain, NFTs, metaverse, all the big trendy words for the gaming industry. I've talked about it over and over and over. PlayStation Insider teases Bloodborne news. Let's see what this is about. Let's change our search up real quick. And we talked about this yesterday again. Check out the YouTube video from yesterday on yesterday's news segment to catch up on some of the stuff we've already hit on. Yep. Okay. Persona 5 video reveals controversial cut content. See what that's about. Yep, the Prime Gaming free games again. Acquisition manager. Yeah, we already talked about this as well. These big companies, these big devs are not going to quit trying to acquire as many other developers as they can. Really, that seem like a good play for them, anyways. Page 2. Esports industry hopes free-to-play ship provides needed lift. I mean, I'm not going to dive into this. What I'll say is that we talk about free-to-play aspect of things all the time. There's a very good way to go about making free-to-play games, yeah. And there are some pretty abysmal, horrible, nightmarish examples of ways companies have tried to do free-to-play as well. So I mean, we play a free to play game right now in Lost Ark for our weekend content, and I feel like they've done a pretty good model with it, a pretty good job. There is a minor implementation of pay to win, but it's not anything that skews the game significantly in favor of people that pay for those kinds of things. And as a free to play player, it looks like you can basically accomplish all content just by being free to play. Yeah. And the esports industry, I think the more people look, I'm always, you guys know this about me. If you're been part of this community for a while, you know that I'm always going to advocate for more opportunities for people to enjoy games as a whole, right? Be a part and get a taste of the world that I'm passionate about and that I love. And so free to play is not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on how it's developed. There's a good and a bad way to do free to play games, right? Walmart's got 12 video game deals. We'll take a look real quick. Cyber beware, e-gaming and cyber criminality. Looks like another major video game developer and publisher experienced something. We'll take a look here and see what that's about. Last page. We've already talked a lot about Netflix. Look at the previous videos of the news segments if you're interested. Lots of Netflix talk through those. Excuse me. Yeah, we've talked about all this stuff on this page as well. So if you're interested, or at least the majority of the stuff on this page, check out those previous news segments. Let's dive in here and see what we got. See what we got. Again, it's May the 4th be with you right now. May 4th, May the 4th, right? You get it? You get it? They're so crafty. So let's see what we got here. Publisher Aspire has launched the Star Wars Heritage Pack bundle consisting of 5 legacy Star Wars titles on Nintendo Switch. Sorry, no Knights of the Old Republic. Ooh. Knights of the Old Republic is a great game. Bundle released includes the recently released Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which is just. Isn't this. Yeah. This is just a remaster of the old Force Star Wars Force Unleashed game that was recently released on Switch, if I remember correctly. Alongside Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, and Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. So all of these games, yeah. You can also bag a lovely 25% off the asking price for Star Wars Day, bringing the bundle down to about $45 US until May 5th. Usual asking price after this point will be $60 US. As a handy tip for those in the US, if you spend that $45 on the discounted $50 eShop voucher instead, you can use the funds to buy the bundle and have a spare $5 sitting in your account for another purchase. Okay. Well, there you go. Look at our Star Wars sales all over the place. So if you're interested in getting some Star Wars games, just look around. There are Star Wars games everywhere on sale right now. Even Game Pass knows it's backlog season, but it means all the more time to check out intriguing indies like the samurai game Trek to Yomi. Yo, we just talked about Trek to Yomi the other day. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. It's that time of the year again when the release cadence cools down a bit, giving you time to make your way through your backlog from the spring uh, or the fall. Game Pass, for the moment, isn't adding too much to the top and is, in fact, removing quite a bit from the bottom. Here's everything coming to Microsoft's Games on Demand service in the coming weeks. It's not a whole lot. Loot River looks really neat. Funny enough, I have been paying attention to Loot River for since the end of last year, and Pinky, our buddy Pinky, actually came across his computer yesterday. And he's like, "Hey man, have you seen this?" And it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty neat. Like a top down action RPG, Souls like, I think roguelike kind of game. Um, it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty neat. So that came out yesterday. I'll be keeping up to see what maybe some reviews because it got released on Steam and basically everywhere. So see what people are saying about the game. Uh, tomorrow, Trek to Yomi and Citizen Sleeper. On the 10th, Danganronpa 2, A Yuden Chronicle Rising, This War of Mine Final Cut. On the 12th, NHL 22 via EA Play. Okay, well, yeah, because the NHL season's coming to a close, right? So they're gonna be like, okay, people can start playing NHL. It's not to say there's literally nothing here, just that it's absent some of the must-play blockbusters that players have grown accustomed to. Some games are worth checking out. Trek to Yomi is a new side-scrolling action game inspired by the work of legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa about a samurai on a quest for revenge. It looks really neat. That game looks really neat. Uh, Loot River is basically Tetris plus Dark Souls, which sounds impossible to put down. A Yuden Chronicle Rising has a neat wrinkle. The characters you meet in the RPG can become your companions in the sequel, A Yuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, planned for release sometime next year. Oh, really? Is that actually on Steam? That sounds neat. Huh. So this actually releases on the 10th. Take a, this app drives me crazy. Hold on. Hold on. Log back in here. Shut down Steam. This happens to me all the time. drives me crazy. One second, we're gonna log back into Steam. We'll take a look at what this game is real quick. That sounds real intriguing. Like coming across NPCs and they'll actually be usable in the as companions in the sequel and stuff. That's pretty neat. Let's take a look, see what we're do we got here. Okay. Apologies. My Steam app loves to do that to me. Okay. So that's Euden Chronicle Rising. All right. So the characters you meet in the RPG can become your companions in the sequel 100 Heroes, planned for release sometime next year. Wild. Game Pass is losing a ton of terrific games, including one of the best Final Fantasy entries. On May 10th, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Definitive Edition goes away. That followed on May 15th by all of these. Enter the Gungeon. Dude, if you have not played Enter the Gungeon, check it out. Final Fantasy X, 10-2 HD Remaster. Remnant from the Ashes, Steep, The Catch, Carp, and Course, The Wild at Heart. I am personally bereft here. Enter the Gungeon, of course, is a roguelike staple. Practically comfort food at this point. Steep's disappearance is softened by the presence of shredders on Game Pass. It means we lose Ubisoft's open world game scheme. The Wild at Heart, which some call Wes Anderson's Pikmin, is one of those under the radar gems I recommend to anyone who will let me rave for a few minutes. And a friend was telling me about Remnant from the Ashes literally last night. How I should check it out and possibly play co-op with him. I even said, sure. I think I would like to try Remnant. I have Remnant. I just haven't played it. It does look like a very cool co-op game. And there's Final Fantasy X, 10-2 HD, Square Enix's legendary series that's had a curious relationship with Game Pass. 2019, Microsoft announced a bunch of Final Fantasy games would come to the service sometime in 2020. By January 2021, most of the games hadn't become available. The series has started popping up through 2022, but it seems they tend to only stick around for a year at most. Last August, Final Fantasy VII left the service. Just this February, Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age did too. Now it's Final Fantasy X-10-2's HD's turn. At this rate, if you ever wanted to check out Final Fantasy 13-2, the most underrated game in the series, you'd best start soon. Okay, So there you go. Does look like they have some come like Loot River looks really neat, but they're losing a lot of good games there too. New Xbox Game Pass games for May 2022 include 4 day 1 release. I think this is what we just kind of went over. Yeah, uh, yeah, we just talked about these. So Citizen Sleeper, Danganronpa 2, A Yuden Chronicle Rising, Loot River, This War of Mine Final Cut, Trek to Yomi, and NHL 22. So this so Loot River, A Yuden Chronicle Rising, Trek to Yomi, and is it Citizen Sleeper or Danganronpa 2? I think it's Citizen Sleeper, isn't it? Oh no, it's Danganronpa 2 launching May 10th. So okay. So these 4 are the day 1 releases coming to Game Pass, okay? Kind of what we just talked about. But there's a look at them anyways. Sims 4 drops a teaser for even more kits and a game pack. Remember stuff packs? EA clearly doesn't. Yesterday, Sims 4 Twitter page dropped a mighty vague teaser video. Simply the regular logo zipping away, returning in a glowing wireframe versions instead. The whole thing got simmers speculating. Was it a new Sims expansion pack, a new Sims session-like event, maybe even a teaser for The Sims 5? Perhaps rather predictably, it was none of those. Instead, EA dropped yet another awfully mysterious teaser video, revealing that 1 game pack and 2 kits are arriving across May and June. Looks like werewolves are finally making their way into Sims 4, with the teaser showing a full moon and the game pack having the name Go Wild, which feels pretty fitting for the beasties. Werewolves have been in every mainline Sims game, and despite getting other paranormal goodies like vampires and ghosts, werewolves have been notably absent over the last 8 years. Seems to be even less information about what will be in the kits, bar their names. Looks like the 2 kits will be the opposite of each other, with one called Chic Nights Out and the other Cozy Nights In. With kits usually focusing solely on either build, buy, or create a sim items, it could go either way. My guess would be either one of each. My guess would be either one of each, or kits more focused on ways to dress up our sims. The whole emphasis on nighttime is making me hopeful for some nightlife-esque themes creeping their way into the game pack. While nightclubs, bars, and dance floors are already available in The Sims 4, the whole thing feels a little underbaked. Also surprising to see EA once again foregoing stuff packs. Been nearly 16 months since the last one was released. Despite no official word on its retirement, it feels like kits have become the default replacement. Well, yeah, it's EA. It's EA. You know, what do you can't expect too much from an EA game, really, right? I mean, we know that, right? So there you go. If you're interested in The Sims, yo, stop it. Okay, so good night. This site, that's better. Square Enix lost $200 million on Marvel games. Avengers will transfer to Embracer Group. Okay, so that's part of this buyout. Embracer Group is planning to take over both the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxies from Square Enix despite them losing money. As fans and analysts alike try to make sense of Square Enix's shock 300 million sale of Tomb Raider and almost all their Western franchises and developers, the answer to the most burning question, why, is becoming clearer. According to senior MST financial analyst David Gibson, the reason Square Enix sold Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal is relatively simple. Between the Marvel Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy games, they lost the company $200 million. Still doesn't explain why you'd sell off the studios, and franchises like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex seems like Square Enix had simply had enough of the North American developers. Although, as Gibson points out, the idea that they needed to sell them to invest more in blockchain technology is silly. Despite its $200 million loss, Square Enix is a perfectly solvent company and isn't short of cash to invest in future projects, which makes the explanation seem almost absurd. At first, Embracer Group, the $11 billion company that bought Tomb Raider and the rest, said relatively little about the sale, but in an investor call last night, they stated that Pending Disney's approval, they take over as publisher of both Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. Very straightforward for Guardians, but Avengers is a live service game that's supposed to be getting a constant stream of new content, but it's currently unclear if Embracer is willing to fund that. Not just a question of money either, as it would mean continuing to tie up Crystal Dynamics on a game that is not widely popular and which even Square Enix admitted was the wrong fit for the studio. Embracer can... Stop, please? All the autoplay stuff, man. Embracer is already teasing new projects from both developers, but has confirmed that Crystal Dynamics will continue its work on the new Tomb Raider. If they expect them to work on an additional new game on top of that, then it may mean that, given it's never been very popular, Avengers is deprioritized, even if work does continue in some fashion. Yeah. Okay. So Embracer is looking to take over Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Not just the main IPs that they got off of that acquisition from Square Enix. Okay, there you go. AMD promises extreme gaming laptops in 2023 with new Dragon Range CPU. #1 choice for mobile gaming dominance. Quoted. Funny thing happened in 2020. AMD won the gaming laptop for the first time ever. Until the Asus Zephyrus G14, we'd never seen a laptop with an AMD CPU and AMD GPU run circles around the competition. Since then, we've repeatedly seen that AMD laptop no longer means cheap, but now AMD is setting its sights higher than mid-range gaming machines. It just revealed it's building a new CPU aimed at the pinnacle of gaming performance with the highest core thread and cache ever. They've already been slamming the cache part of this, and they are making very high core, high thread CPUs. I've got an AMD 12 core 24 thread in my computer. I love it. New CPU line is codenamed Dragon Range, and it will give they'll live exclusively at 55 watts TDP and up, enough power that they'll largely exist in space where gaming laptops are plugged in the majority of the time, says AMD Director of Technical Marketing Robert Halleck. Dragon Range will be #1. Yeah, they're saying #1. This is their marketing stuff, but Zen 4 architecture achieving the pinnacle of gaming performance, core thread and cache, highest core thread and cache ever for a mobile gaming CPU. Tell us about it then. Slide above shows they're aimed at laptops that are at least 20 millimeters, 0.78 inches thick. Basically 3/4 of an inch thick, yeah. While the 35 to 45 watt Phoenix line are aimed at machines thinner than that same mark. Both are part of the same AMD Ryzen 7000 series, based on the same Zen 4 architecture, and unfortunately it appears both won't arrive until 2023. Yo, Mamzelle, what's up? How are you? Good morning. Zen 4 will begin its life as the desktop exclusive Raphael later this year, according to the chart. AMD says that Dragon Range will take up the HS suffix for CPUs, the same as the Ryzen 9 4900 HS that impressed us at 35 watts in the 2020 Asus Zephyrus. But hinted that we shouldn't take the higher TDP as a sign that they'll totally be ditching power efficiency for performance. They're estimated to be notably more power efficient than other laptops in that competing time frame. AMD didn't provide more details. Not clear what the new CPUs might bring to the table. Hitting hard this morning. Yeah, that's what I worked out for the first time in a while on Monday as well. And I'm a bit more sore than I was yesterday. But I'm gonna try to get another workout in today. I'm trying to get at least an every other day workout in at this point. Try to get a new schedule going here. Incorporate it more into my lifestyle at this point. I just fell out of working out so bad over the past number of years. I've got to get back into it. Trying to start slow, man. Start slow, get it into my routine a bit more, and then we'll see about increasing. The kind of gamer who buys an extreme gaming laptop might care about even a slight advantage in FPS. Halleck says the new chips are an opportunity the company thought it could pursue alongside thin and light gaming. Performance per watt story you've been hearing from us will continue in the future as well. AMD also told journalists today that starting next quarter, it will break out gaming into its own financial segment, with revenue from semi-custom parts like PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam Deck chips joining desktop and laptop Radeon graphics, all part of a single gaming business. Uh, it's a smart move, I would say. It sounds like Risen may not be part of that segment, though, but rather a client one. The company will explain more at an analyst day in June. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's just, man, I've not been working out in so long. I don't feel bad. I'm just tight, you know. Every second day, at least 3 days. Yeah, nice, good for you. Yeah, that's where I've got to get back into that. I've got to get back into that. I mean, in my heyday, I was in the gym 6 days a week. 2 to 3 hours a day, and I have not done that for quite some time now. so, so it's time to try to get at least a little bit of fitness back in my life. I need it. I need it. New gaming center in Niagara Falls offer kids a safe environment. This is pretty cool. Um, Niagara Falls, New York. Two sisters in Niagara Falls have opened a new gaming center with the goal of giving kids a safe place to play. The idea for Game On Entertainment started at the height of the pandemic when there were not many places for kids to have fun. Now this family business is up and running and ready to welcome kids of all ages. Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, boxing is supposed to be fantastic. I've never done any kind of like boxing or MMA stuff, but I have friends. I have one of my good friends has actually done a lot of MMA stuff, and it's supposed to be great, great workout, great fitness. Yeah, that's awesome. From Pac-Man PlayStation, Game On Entertainment has around 20 plus different games and activities. For only $15, you can get a day pass with unlimited play on all video games or purchase a monthly membership for $75. They also want to put an emphasis on learning. The sisters are working on a partnership with Niagara University to have student volunteers teach academic enrichment courses, passing on valuable knowledge in STEM. Uh, Love boxing. Yeah. Same thing I've heard. Yeah. They're going to teach Go coding. They're going to teach students, kids, how to create their own games, their own video games, their own game systems from scratch. That's pretty much besides that. They'll also be shadowing us so that they can learn how to run their own business. It's cool, man. This Saturday, they're hosting their very first video game tournament at 6 p.m. when you'll have the chance to win a PS5. Oh, this is cool, man. Nice. Nice. Very neat. Very neat. Cool. Good for them. Okay. Dr. Disrespect claims YouTube gaming doesn't support us one bit. Such a phony industry I'm in, said the streamer, who resolved a legal dispute with Twitch earlier in the year. No, they still have not come out and said why the doc got banned off of Twitch, right? It's still like this, like nobody really knows, right? They've like even settled the lawsuit and everything, and still nobody really knows, at least from what I can tell, what happened there. So, uh, by the way, Doctor Disrespect is no longer a streamer, but as you can see right here, Doctor Disrespect is now a steamer. Okay, so not only is he on YouTube now, doing his streaming, but he is no longer considered a streamer, as this article lets us know. Doctor Disrespect is now a steamer. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm sure we'll find out. All right. Um, Steamer Dr. Disrespect, real name Herschel Beam, has claimed that YouTube gaming does not support content creators and alleged that he works in a phony industry. In a tweet posted earlier today, Dr. Disrespect said that he unfollowed YouTube gaming on Twitter because they don't support us one bit. Why would I support them? Such a phony industry I'm in, added the streamer. Uh, Unclear if us refers to fellow content creators or the doc's own fan base, as in the past he has clashed with YouTube over the way he feels he's been treated. Back in March, the doc expressed frustration over YouTube Gaming's reluctance to mention his presence on the site and alleged that he put YouTube Gaming streaming on the map. As it stands, YouTube gaming has recently become a popular platform for bigger streamers to sign exclusivity deals with. However, last year, Tyler Ninja Blevins claimed that he doesn't even look at YouTube as a competitor to rival streaming platform Twitch. It's the way most people feel about it. That's the way most people feel about it. Again, I mean, I kind of touched on this earlier. Uh, I feel like most of what I've heard and the consensus around the streaming community is that no other platform really compares to what Twitch offers, right? Oh yeah, well, and look, the thing that's hard about the thing that's really hard about an individual such as the doc, okay, is that there is also this persona that's all that is used here, right? But you also can't tell like how much of how I mean, there's like it's really hard to differentiate between how much of everything that an individual like this does and says is part of that persona. Because the doc is very exuberant and outspoken, and has that whole like very full of himself kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? Like if you know very much about this personality, right? That is it. And to an extent, it's hard to tell whenever somebody that has become very popular off of such a persona, how much of it is them. And look, I feel like anybody that creates this type of persona, there's going to be a bit of overlap between who they really are and who the persona is, right? But not totally. Just there's going to be an amount of that. But it's also hard whenever stuff like this comes out. It's like, is this the persona talking? Is this the actual person behind that mask talking? Or both? Or it's tough, man. It's tough, But look, I talked about this earlier in the fact that um, there have been a lot of streamers that have been given very lucrative contracts to switch over to YouTube streaming, right? But everything that I can see. What's up, Psych? What's up, dude? I know, man. Feels bad. I watched the whole thing last night, man. I couldn't fall asleep until it was over. It felt terrible. It felt terrible. I know. But what's up, buddy? The oh yo, Psych, check out the food channel in Discord, dude. Check out the food channel in Discord. Okay? Um so there's just YouTube is a good platform for certain things. It doesn't appear, and I've never streamed on YouTube. Um, it doesn't appear to be anything close to what Twitch offers us as streamers, as live streamers, right? Um, and there are a lot of people that have been enticed to move over to YouTube to live stream um, because money talks. Yeah. Don't. It's cool. Let them know that OA said you're good. You're gonna hang out with us today and game and talk gaming and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just let them know I said it's okay. So, um, I think this also comes into play for a lot of people where, look, there's no beating around the bush. People on that live stream really like to kind of teeter on that tightrope, right? Of what's uh okay and what's not okay according to terms of service, right? And um a lot of times it's very good content. And a very people that have gotten very popular, even getting banned becomes good content sometimes. It can be catastrophic other times, depending on how long the ban is, how well built and you know how good of a community you have behind you, right? But sometimes I think for some of these people, you don't understand what you have until it's gone, right? You take it for granted. There aren't a lot of live streaming platforms out there, and I think it's no question that Twitch is really uh, the better developed by far. Oh, good, Psych. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad, buddy. Cool, cool, cool. All right, dude. Awesome. I was trying very hard. I was doing a lot of stuff last night, but I was like, dude, I got to get this stuff put in Discord. I even got some stuff thrown in there for Metal to try to help Metal out a little bit. Was starting to cook, so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. Uh, I'll tell the wife you said thank you. Play hooky, yeah, for sure. So I think it's one of those things where people are always pushing that line, and sometimes maybe you push it too far, and then you end up realizing that you're no longer yeah, for sure, buddy. I know. Um, you no longer have what you once had, and you just didn't realize maybe how good you had it at that point, right? So I don't know, but everything I can tell, Twitch is just a much better developed, much better platform for live streamers than anything else out there. As it stands, back in March, the doc expressed frustration over YouTube Gaming's reluctance to mention his presence on the site, alleged that he put YouTube Gaming on the map, YouTube Gaming streaming on the map. As it stands, YouTube Gaming has recently become a popular platform for bigger streamers. Yeah, we talked about, yeah. Uh, Look, Ninja is not the only one that says this kind of thing. There are a lot of very popular streamers that go, YouTube's not a competitor. They just aren't, right? It's just not the same platform for live streaming. It just isn't. Um, doesn't even look at YouTube as a competitor, the rival streaming platform Twitch. Over the last few years, the doc has also been involved in a legal dispute with Twitch. Yeah. After being mysteriously banned, from the site in mid 2020, the streamer became embroiled in legal action with Twitch in 2021, which was resolved in March. While the lawsuit did not reveal to fans why he was banned, the doc said that no party admits to any wrongdoing and added that he would not be returning to Twitch. However, it seems like the streamer's content is still not welcome on the site, as in March, a chess grandmaster was banned from Twitch for streaming a doc match. Nowadays, Doc is involved with other projects outside of streaming. Yeah, he got blasted for trying to sell NFTs to get people beta access to his uh, game that he's trying to develop and stuff. Yeah, Twitch drama. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But I feel like this article is a good article to bring up because of exactly what I just hit on. Right? People are always pushing that line. Not everybody. There are a lot of streamers, right? A lot of content creators that push that line of what is okay and not okay according to terms of service, right? And I don't know what happened. Nobody really knows what happened in that whole situation between uh, the doc and Twitch, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think any. I don't think hardly anybody really knows. It's not public information as far as I can tell. Uh, but again, it's one of those situations. Like now he's blasting YouTube. He has nowhere else to go. Where else are you going to go to live stream? He's blasting YouTube for not supporting streamers and himself as a streamer, right? Um, where else are you going to go if you're banned off Twitch? But again, I think it's one of those situations where people don't entirely think about the situations they're getting themselves into because Twitch is a very good live streaming platform. It is. It's very good. And I'm not saying it doesn't have its issues, okay? But you get yourself into a situation where you get yourself banned, you got nowhere else to go, right? And then you're taking a look at it like, I assume many people have taken a look at it like, um, you just didn't realize how good you had it until you lost that ability to stream on the better platform, you know? Well, he does a lot of stuff, and that's one of the things we got to as well. Is right, yeah. I mean, we got to. It's a persona, right? He exudes this persona. He's always putting out stuff like this, but at the same time, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. YouTube gaming, the streaming part, the streaming platform for YouTube is not what Twitch is. It just is not. That is a sentiment that is pretty clear and shared around the community of streamers, right? I mean, you can see there's a lot. Wait, what? It does? Yo, I was just looking at another game on my wish list this morning that has Twitch integration, by the way. Another card game, too. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And it's kind of ridiculous because you'll see things, all, there have been a lot of instances where I'm not going to name drop platforms or anything, but live streamers that are very popular have not gotten in trouble or got like slaps on the hand for certain things where other smaller streamers have gotten like significant bans and stuff. There are a lot of examples of that kind of thing happening. And that's why I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird situation. But I mean, yeah, oh, really, dude, I didn't see that in the settings yesterday. I didn't see that in the settings yesterday. I booted up the game and made sure it was all good to go, but I didn't see it in the settings. Cool, Pinky. Yeah, we'll check it out, dude. We'll check it out. So I don't know. It's as a live streamer, and we all frequent Twitch and stuff. It was something that I feel like it was an article that came up, and I feel like it gave us an opportunity to kind of discuss and bring about some of these important points, right? Um, I love what I do. I love what I do. I love doing it on Twitch right now. I couldn't imagine doing it on another platform. I'm not saying that Twitch doesn't have its issues, right? But as far as I'm concerned and everything I can tell, this is the better platform to be on. And um, I love my community. I love you guys. And I love what I do every day. And I just couldn't. And again, I know it's good content for some people to really walk that line, that gray area of tight roping whether or not you're doing something against TOS and stuff. But I tend to err on the side of caution because I don't want to lose this. I feel fortunate to have what I have. I think maybe sometimes people lose sight of that until they get like a perma ban on the platform they're on and they love and enjoy. And it maybe hits them after the fact that, oh man, I might have really messed up here. PlayStation Insider teases Bloodborne news alongside Marvel's Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us Part 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and a couple of other games. Bloodborne is a prime example of what PlayStation undeniably did throughout the entire PS4 generation, which was deliver some of the best games of the generation. PS4 had a wide range of great exclusives and console exclusives, but not many better than Bloodborne, which was developed by the increasingly prolific and widely known From Software. I'm guessing Bloodborne has an awesome targeting system in it. I haven't played it, but I would assume that the targeting system in Bloodborne, fantastic. I'm just going to throw that out there. The developer behind Elden Ring. There have been rumblings of Bloodborne 2 for a couple of years, but nothing has come of these rumblings. There have also been rumblings of the 2015 game coming to PC and or PS5, but again, so far nothing has come up of these rumblings. That said, it looks like Bloodborne fans shouldn't give up hope yet. During Sacred Symbols episode 200, PlayStation Insider and former IGN journalist Colin Moriarty made a big claim when Bloodborne came up during the show dedicated to ranking the 25 best PS4 games. More specifically, Moriarty teased, "You haven't seen the last of Bloodborne, I'll tell you that." Moriarty isn't just a premier source when it comes to PlayStation, but he's recently proven reliable in numerous claims. For example, he relayed word of the new Ratchet and Clank game and Demon's Souls remake before anyone else did. In other words, there's no reason to doubt the claim. Unfortunately, the claim isn't accompanied by any more specific and revealing details. Whether Moriarty is hinting at Bloodborne 2, a Bloodborne PC PS5 port, or something else entirely, we don't know. That's all Moriarty had to say about the matter. At the moment of publishing, not a single implicated party has commented on this report. We don't expect this to change, however. If it does, we will be sure to update the story accordingly. Likewise, if Moriarty provides any additional details or insight, they will be added to the story. In the meantime, and as always, feel free to share your thoughts and hot takes in the comments section, or alternatively, hit them up on Twitter. Okay? Everybody's wanted more Bloodborne, right? And for Bloodborne to be on other consoles. That's what a lot of people want as well. I breathe. I breathe coffee. Don't breathe it. It, do, it doesn't work the same way. All right. Persona 5 video reveals controversial cut content. A new Persona 5 video is making the rounds on Twitter for showing a controversial scene that was cut from the PlayStation game at some point during development by developer Atlas. Excuse me. Both Persona 5 and Persona 5 Persona 5 Royal are brimming with content, with both games offer well over 100 hours of entertainment. Yet, just like any game, it once had even more content that was cut during development for various reasons. To this end, players are relieved to see one scene in particular was cut before the final release. As relayed over on Twitch by Faz, the scene involving Ryuji after Shido Palace was originally going to be quite different. In the game's files, there are both unused audio and animations showing everyone hitting the character. Why this scene was ultimately cut, we don't know, but fans are happy to see it didn't make its way into the game. Below, you can check out the scene for yourself, courtesy of the aforementioned Faz. That said, it's worth pointing out the video hasn't been revealed by Atlas or Sega or anyone involved with either, so take TIST into consideration while watching it. No reason to suspect any type of fabrication or manipulation of the scene. This nonetheless isn't something that's been revealed in a behind-the-scenes video or by a former developer on the game. As noted, many fans of the series are relieved that the scene never made it to the game. I don't know anything about the game. I don't really want to see what this is necessarily in case we end up playing. I don't plan on it, but I'll put it in chat so you guys can watch it if you want. Pointing out a variety of issues, including how out of character the scene is for some of the characters involved. Okay. That's all it was. I thought it was going to be like something significant. That's why I brought it up. As in, like, it got taken out because there was some sketchy kind of stuff going on in the scene or whatever, but apparently it just didn't flow well with the game and the characters and everything. So it's there if you want to take a look at it. Okay, so if you're in the market for some games, it looks like there might be some video games at Walmart right now. Just Dance, $20. Breath of the Wild, $40. Pokemon Snap, $48 US. Guardians of the Galaxy, $30 US. Halo Infinite, $40. Microsoft Flight Simulator, $45. Outer Worlds for PS4, $13. Assassin's Creed Origins, $16. It Takes Two, $21. Riders Republic, PS5, $22. Deathloop, $29. Neo Collection for $37. PS5, I think. There you go. So if you're in the market for any of those, you could potentially get a deal right now at Walmart on those. Okay, not promoting Walmart. Not a big fan of that company or anything really, but try to help out people get deals on stuff if they're in the market. Okay, whatever. Shut up. Cyber beware, e-gaming and cyber criminality. Recent events illustrate that the e-gaming industry, developers, publishers, esports leagues, and teams, and the financial machinations behind them are significant targets for cyber attacks, theft, and cyber criminality. Recently, U.S. law enforcement linked the Lazarus Group, which is reported to be connected to the North Korean government, to the $540 million hack of Axie Infinity. Yep, we've covered that previously. As reported by the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control reported that the Lazarus Group is the owner of the cryptocurrency address used in the hack. Another major game developer and publisher experienced a cyber attack reportedly resulting in the exfiltration of more than 3/4 of a terabyte of data. The exfiltration data reportedly includes source code, software development kits, and game engines. News reports indicate that the threat actors access the system through Slack channels, stolen authentication cookies, and apparently a well-executed spear phishing attack to secure multi-factor authentication tokens. Simultaneously, other recent reports have described malware hiding in gaming platforms through profile images, like malware injection through website favicons. Meanwhile, esports has become big business and mainstream with huge amounts of data and significant capital transactions. A League of Legends tournament was featured in the Netflix documentary 7 Days Out, and Sports Illustrated July 2021 cover story was about an esports team. Even the Olympics reportedly is considering including esports. Yep, the combination of threat actors looking toward the video game industry and the rise of esports indicates how important it is for the industry and esports platforms and leagues to increase their cybersecurity awareness. As with other technology and developments, the risk is ever present to the individual in their home, to their personal computing devices, and to their financial accounts. As personally situated, the industry and esports present attractive targets to cyber threat actors. Following are a few examples of areas that need significant attention. So, first, attackers may seek player or subscriber account information. Many games today, from MMOs to Web3 based platforms to esports and real-time strategy games, everything in between include online play or DLC components. For those, the publisher may be collecting significant amounts of information about the players, information with significant market value to marketers, and threat actors such as payment information, geolocation, crypto addresses, or other personal information. Second, attackers could seek to use video games to deploy and execute malicious code. Unfortunately, as seen with the methodology behind 2020's Sunburst attack, insecure video games could be an attack vector for threat actors through malicious code injection. For video games that run on personal computers or smartphones, the malicious code could be used to access non-game data stored on the device once the malicious code has access to the device through local execution. Yep. Third, excuse me, breathing that coffee got me. Third, attackers could discover vulnerabilities to be exploited in league esports play. As with any gaming or sports, it is important for the success of the franchise that the playing field is viewed as fair and clean and free of corruption. Esports already have anti-doping programs. If an esports team could gain access to game source code or engines through access to stolen source code or game engines, they may be able to develop unknown tactics to exploit large logic errors in the game. This should be expected. It happens in all sports. Baseball has a long history of sign stealing, modifying game gear. Football teams, yeah. So there's that. Fourth, a high-profile esports event may be a valuable target for a disruptive attack such as malware. If an esports league systems were disrupted by ransomware on the eve of the finals, league may face high pressure to promptly pay the ransom so the finals can proceed. Yeah, it is possible that esports leagues or teams could be viewed as better targets because, unlike hospitals and the like, threat actors may view esports as apolitical and unlikely to violate any purported codes of conduct. Esports is not yet like soccer or other sports with national teams that may dissuade nation-state affiliated threat actors from interfering. In short, summary, the gaming industry and esports present attractive targets to threat actors for many reasons. The backbone participants must address cybersecurity concerns seriously. Each must ensure it has a robust and established security and compliance program to reduce and mitigate potential risk and vulnerabilities. Look, this is anybody that has anything to do with technology, internet, IT. You have to do the utmost you can to defend your assets from potential hackers or threats, okay? We'll just call them threats, all encompassing. That's why, we talked about this recently, like, as an example, unsupported versions of software, old versions, old operating systems, stuff like that. Look, keeping your software that you run up to date, right? A big reason for patches is to eliminate vulnerabilities. vulnerabilities are basically just doorways for threat actors to access ways into your systems and do malicious things. So it's users' responsibility to take care of your hardware, software, make sure everything's as secure as possible. Run some kind of you're never going to be 100%. It's just not. There's always new ways being found to get into by threat, you know, threat actors to get in and do malicious things. That's just the way it is. It's a constant back and forth battle. It's a cyber battle, is what it is. And but the best you can do is try to make sure that your stuff is secure. A lot of look, a lot of companies I feel don't take enough action on the part of defending, right? Prevention, security, things like that for their IT assets, and the software we play on, the servers that we're always accessing to play these games, things like that. And we never really know how well they are secured, right? So it's just this is the world we live in now, and we're going to continue to see it. It'll never stop. It'll never stop. The best you can do is try to make sure that you are, and that's why we talk a lot. We've talked quite often about just, um, let me know if anybody has any other news. I'm going to continue talking here. Let me know if there's anything that I haven't come across that you might be aware of before we move on. I always try to err on the side of caution with my own information and hardware, software, stuff like that, and be as secure as possible. And even when it comes to a lot of my own PII, personally identifiable information, I try to be as secure as I can about that kind of information, because anything that you throw out there is just fuel for potential malicious threat actors, right? So just be cautious. Keep that kind of thing in mind. It's only in your best interest to try to stay stay secure in the online world, not just gaming, but the online world, right? The world of tech. Yeah. Um, I think that is going to do it for gaming news. Was there something else we needed to look up? I don't think so. I can't remember if there was. Anyways, um, thanks to everybody who has hung out for news. Everybody that's part of this community, you guys know how much I appreciate you. I hope you do, anyways. Um, we will be moving on to our first day of Hand of Fate 2. I'm excited. If you are not moving on with us, or you're viewing this on YouTube later after it's been uploaded, then stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. If you are viewing it on YouTube, do me a favor, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and see what you can do about coming and hanging out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. Central North American time every single morning when we do the news segment, and then when we go move into our gaming stuff too. We have a great time. I would like to see more people come hang out with us. So, yeah, have a great day if you're not moving on, or if you're viewing this after the fact. All right.